Welcome to Comfort After number 2. I am your host, Echo Van Great Wolf. So, if you watch my prep show, you will understand that I made a video in my car going to the dentist or coming home from the dentist about teaching our little girls and boys at an early age about sex education, teaching them how to prevent from becoming the victims of being pregnant before having a plan, having babies with more than one person because that person has a very good sex game with their tongue or their penis. And just because they tell you the lies that young girls tell other girls about getting pregnant and how that boy is going to be with you forever. So, I deleted that shit because the videos, one was 18 minutes long because it came off my cell phone. Deleted it. Still on my cell phone, but I still deleted it. Then the second part of that was where I went into details and talking and talking and talking. And I just kept talking and talking. And I went off on shit, high probability, things that just really was way off bound. So now we're going to stay on base and we're going to talk. And I'm going to try to keep this under an hour, under 30 minutes if possible. So brace yourself because here comes Echo. So, if you are a parent of a child of a particular age who are starting to discover their body, in other words, between the ages of 8 years old to 18 to 28 years old, you should probably have this conversation with them as early as 8 years old. And the reason why I said that is because you're discovering your body at 8 years old. If you're a boy or a girl, you know what your bodily functions are. You know how to pee, you know how to poop. You should be having the talk with them about what is good touches and what is bad touches. And now you should also be having the talk to them about respecting themselves and respecting others. Alright? If you have a little boy, you need to make sure that he knows that every little girl that he talks to, they aren't always going to be nice, and they may not always be for him. He also has to understand that as he gets older, there will be girls that have sexual interest in him, and there are different types of girls, just like there are different types of boys. And these different types of girls and boys, you have decent, you have good, you have great, and then you have traps. Alright? Now, let me explain that because that works on both sides of the gender spectrum in case any women are watching and I just pissed you off with that. This is a trap. A trap. A male or female who is marrying you for anything other than love. Alright? A woman who has sex with an athlete who's making millions of dollars will trap that athlete into having her baby. That also works in reverse. A man who is marrying an athlete just for her money and she wants to have a baby and he wants to have a baby because he knows that if she has his baby, he has secured his footprint into her life and he has trapped her with him for life. He may not even love her, but he may love what she has. So therefore, he's going to use her and abuse her, but only mentally. Where the female will use and abuse the man, mostly mentally. So these are your traps. When you have your career going at its height and you fuck up and you have sex with somebody who gets you pregnant if you're the female athlete, or if you're the male athlete, gets pregnant so that she can take you for every dime that you are going to earn in said sport career. Now don't think that this is just bound to straight male and straight female, because this is bound all over the planet to everyone involved. And you have to understand something, you know, the thrill of being with the athlete is great, especially when they're making millions of dollars and they have millions of endorsements, and you know this is going to be something that you can sink your feet or your hands into, and a lot of people do that. So you don't want to fall into that. Now back to the matter at hand. If you are a little girl and you reach a particular age where you start to become a woman, and you have been taught all the sex talks, but you haven't been taught how to prevent your ass from getting pregnant, this video is for you. If you are a young man who has all the sex talks and really want to have sex, but you don't want to be a daddy before your time, this video is for you. Now, why did I do it that way? Because I'm going to tell you right now, as a man who has had 5 sisters and 4 of them who have had babies on top of babies on top of babies, and I have been stuck taking care of babies on top of babies. This is to prevent you people from becoming me, where your entire life has been pushed way over here because you have to be responsible for some negligent little jackass that had a baby with your sibling because your sibling wouldn't fucking listen. So ladies, please listen. Just because a man is strong in another regions and strong with the tongue game does not mean a good father he will make. For gentlemen, please listen. Just because a woman is hot, sexy, and beautiful does not mean she's going to be a good mother and that you're not going to have baby mama drama. I hope I covered that, and hopefully I did not offend anyone. And if I did, that's a you problem, because the truth hurts like a motherfucker. Alright? Now, 9 times out of 10, this happens more to men than women on the spectrum of she wanted a baby, I didn't want a baby, she chose to have the baby, I didn't have a say in it. And now I have to pay for 18 years. That's when that happens to men. Now, on the flip side, and the most important side of this spectrum for you young women, this is the part of your life where you need to get your shit straight. Alright? You've been having sex for a while, you know exactly the consequences of having sex. STD or baby. That's pretty much it for you. For us gentlemen, it's STD, baby mama drama. Because you generally impregnate somebody that you had no business impregnating with in the first place, and the woman, you probably lied to her and said, if you have my baby, I'm going to be there with you for the rest of our lives. Women don't fall for that shit. But more importantly, you will hear that more from your girlfriends than you will hear that from a man. And this is why it's very important to teach your children about sex at a young enough age, appropriate skill. By the time a child is between 8 and 12 years old, they have had some sexual encounters with fellow students. They probably had their first kiss. They probably have watched their parents, so they've seen daddy walk by mama, pat that ass. They probably seen mama walk by daddy, pat that ass. Now what they may not have seen is mama walk by daddy and grope the front. What they may not have seen is daddy walk by mama and grope the front. And they may not have seen daddy walk by mama and squeeze. So they may not have seen any of that. But I guarantee they have walked past mommy and daddy and seen one of those moves. And mommy be like, ah, or daddy be like, women? No. They've probably seen that. So if they've seen that, then you need to have this little discussion to let them know that that is consensual. That is something that your mother and I do. It is also how you got here. Because we had consensual sex and we decided to have you together. We decided to be a team. Husband and wife, mother and father, we are going to raise your ass right. We are going to lay down some laws for you that you are not going to like, but you are going to accept, or you are going to accept this belt. Okay, I am a strong believer in spanking. You don't have to be, but I am. I'm sorry. That offends you, that's a you problem. I got spanked. I ain't never been to jail. Some people who didn't get spanked wind up in jail and keep going back to jail because they don't understand that consequences come with actions. So, if you're against spanking, again, that's a you problem. Because I'm going to tell you right now, when I was younger, I'd much rather have got spanked than grounded. Because a spanking don't last but 5 minutes. Grounding lasts 2 weeks. Same thing with timeout. Because timeout gives your child time to think of a better way of getting in trouble. And if I just pissed you off, then I'm doing my job. Now, for you young ladies, because us men, I can speak for us. Us men, when we have locker talk, if we've had sex with somebody, some of us will share that shit with everybody. So you need to understand that some of us will share that shit with everybody. I've had to snatch up somebody for sharing my sister's business with everybody. It got back to me, and I had to snatch his big ass up in the bathroom because he had no business telling everybody what him and my sister did. He had no business doing that shit. So I had to put a stop to that shit. Am I a good brother? Probably not. Am I a good man? Probably not. But did that motherfucker ever say anything else about that shit? Fuck no. Because I threatened to rearrange his dental work. Anyway, and he was bigger than me. He was just younger than me. Now, what you women got to understand is there are a lot of girls that are not for you. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news. There are a lot of girls that will tell you to go sleep with this dude, or they will break you and your boyfriend up so that they can have him. All right? Those are situations you need to prepare for. But what you need to prepare for, the most important situation that you need to prepare for, is that damn girl in your ear telling you that if you get pregnant by Johnny, Johnny gonna be there for you. Oh, how do you know? Because Johnny got 2 other baby mamas, and Johnny is taking care of his babies, but he ain't got shit to do with the baby mama. That doesn't make sense, right? Of course it doesn't. But you're going to listen to that girl, and you're going to go fuck Johnny. Johnny's going to get you pregnant. Because why? Because you listened to the stupid girl that just told you that if you get fucked by Johnny and you get pregnant, Johnny going to take care of you and the baby. No, Johnny going to take care of that baby. Johnny ain't going to give 2 fucks about you. And in fact, Johnny's going to be that guy that's going around telling everybody that your nether regions smell bad. Johnny's going to be that same person going around telling everybody that you are a whore because you slept with Johnny. And Johnny's friends are going to want to sleep with you because Johnny's friends slept with all his other baby mamas. And you need to hear that from a man. Because the girls aren't going to tell you the fucking truth. How do I know this? Because I have female siblings. I also know this because I've had to snatch somebody up in the bathroom at least once. I also know this because I'm a grown-ass man. I pay attention. I listen to shit. And a lot of women on both sides of my family have overreached in the baby department. And instead of listening and doing what they told, they've had to learn lessons unbecoming with the 9 months that come after pole dancing. Okay? So now, you got that out the way. The most dangerous person to a woman is a woman. A woman who thinks that you think you're better than her. A woman who thinks that you think your shit don't stink. A woman who will manipulate the wool of your life to go in a direction that it don't need to go into because you assume that that woman was your friend. Because y'all both women, so a woman's not going to bring another bit of harm to me, right? No. You got to be your own best friend. You can have a best friend. 2 or 3 of them motherfuckers. But you got to be your own best friend. And I say this because I have 3 or 4 bros of mine. They can never convince me to do shit that I didn't want to do. My bros all have children and I don't. They got the life I wanted versus the life I don't have. You know, the life I wanted to be married. I wanted to have children. But because my siblings started having children before their time, I didn't get that chance because I had to be a fucking man. I had to step up because people like Johnny won't dare after they knock them up. So I'm telling you, young ladies, from my experience, that you need to learn how to listen. When a young woman who has had a baby winds up on the Maury Povich show and says, you know, I didn't think this shit all the way through. That's the woman you should be listening to because she didn't think that shit all the way through and now she got changed diapers for 18 to 20 years and it usually stops at 6, but, you know, now she got to do it all by herself because the dude done up and left. Yeah, his dick game was great. His lick game was great. And his leave game was fucking flawless. Because he flawlessly knocked her the fuck up and flawlessly left her high, dry, and in the sky. And you need to think about this shit. But see, this shit generally happens to girls more than boys. As a man, I can tell you right now, if a girl was willing to give me sex, I was willing to take it. If a girl wasn't willing to give me sex, although I still wanted it, I wasn't Pepe Le Pew in that shit. I was going to fuck home. You ain't got to tell me no but one fucking time. But don't call me when I get home and tell me you changed your mind, because I'm not coming back. You can come see me where we're on my playing field, where I have control, where I am in charge, where I am the one that's comfortable with saying yes or no. And see, also, if you come to my house from your house to have sex with me, you can't scream rape. I mean, you can, But the cops are gonna look at this shit kind of funny because it's like, all right, he went to her house. She said she didn't want to have sex. He went home. She called him up 2 hours later, wanting to have sex. So then she came to his house because he refused to come to her house, putting the ball respectfully in my court. And the reason why I said that is because if I go to my girlfriend's house and rape her at her house, they got me dead to rights. If I go to my girlfriend's house and she says she didn't want to have sex, and then I go home, and then she comes back to my house and decides she want to have sex, but then she decides she want to get revenge, so she starts screaming that rape game. She came to my house. Rape is rape regardless of what house you were in, by the way, but she came to my house. They're going to track those phones. Just so that you know, they're going to track those phones. But see, I'm not dumb. She got to my house. She's like, well, I changed my mind. We're going to have sex. I say, you know what? Can we record you saying that? And she'd be like, why you need to record me saying that? I said, because see, here's what's going to happen. When I came to your house and I wanted sex, you said no. I respectfully left your house. And I wasn't expecting you to show back up here tonight because I got the guys coming over. We about to play video games because you said we won't have sex. So I called all my boys. No. So if we're going to have sex, I need to cancel all my boys because, you know, I like to go for a long time. So I need to call my boys and tell them not to come over because, you know, we about to get it out. But before I do that, I'm going to record you telling me that you're here for sex. I'm not going to record the act of us having sex. That is not a fucking option. But to cover my ass, to make sure that I don't go to jail when you decide, oh, now you want to scream rape, I got this shit recorded. And not only is it going to be recorded on my phone, I'm sending that bitch to the cloud. So that way, she can't get my phone and delete my shit. Because people do shit like that. And then you left high and dry. I'm not saying that women are going to do that to you young men that are listening, but you don't know. And you need to be prepared. And women, that shit can happen to you. You know, you can say, I don't consent to sex. I recorded our argument, telling him that I didn't want to have sex. So, when he left, you recorded it and put it to the cloud. Now, here's what you don't want to do after that. You don't want to go back to his house after telling him on video and recording that you don't want to have sex and then going to his house to have sex. Because then you shot yourself in the foot. You see where we're going with that? So we don't want to do that. If you don't want to have sex, hold your guns and don't have sex. It's not that damn hard. And it's harder for men to not have sex than it is for women to not have sex. Alright? Now, I don't know how much truth to that is, but I know as a man, if I'm with my girlfriend and she says we're not going to have sex tonight. Alright, cool. Now, am I spending the night there or am I going home? Now, me personally, if it's a fully on committed relationship, I'm going to respect her and I'm not going to have sex with her and I can stay there. I can sleep right beside her and keep my damn hands off of her until she puts her hands on me. Which I will move them and place them and say, remember, you said no sex. So, you know, I want to make sure that we're both safe. I'm not going to be happy that I'm not getting any, but I'm going to be respectful and not get any. Now, at some point in the next 4 or 5 hours, if she changes her mind, that's a different ballgame. And yes, I'm still going to record her changing her fucking mind because we'll be at her house. I want to make sure I'm safe in case she decides now we done done, and now she done got mad at me because she felt like I coerced her into having sex. I want to make sure we on the same page because I'm never going to coerce a woman into having sex. Fuck that shit. That is just as bad as rape. In some eyes of the law, it is rape. So, no. You said no. So I'm going to say no. And I'm going to stick with that no. Now, women got to do the same thing. If you say no, you got to stick with that no. And you also have to respect the man's choice. That when you said no, if he chooses to go home, he did both of y'all a favor. There's no arguing. You said no, and he wanted sex, and you said no, so he went home. Now, here's the thing, though. If he really wanted sex, and he wasn't serious about you, when he said no, and he's out the door, he's going to the next hoe. And you need to know that. So if he's going to be serious about you, you know, he's just going to go home. But if y'all ain't in a serious relationship, you're going to another girl. No. Now, if he really loves you and he's in a serious relationship, he's going to go home. Now, you got to understand that. But understand this as well. Men need sex. It's not so much that we want sex, it's that we need sex. You know? And you women, y'all are the gold mine and the gift of God that we need to treat you like it. Not all of you women pick guys like that. So y'all pick the magnificent motherfuckers, and then y'all find out that, oops, we fucked up. Probably should have dated the guy that did comic books instead of dating the guy that did drugs. And now you had his baby. So now you gotta live with that shit. Now, on the other hand, if you are a man, your mommy and your daddy need to teach you that when a woman says no, N-O, not K-N-O-W, that you need to respect her. And you need to accept her no. It's her body, it's her choice. You need to be respectful, like, all right, cool. I'm going to be respectful, but I'm also going to go the fuck home. I don't have to be there because I really wanted sex and you didn't want sex. And now, here's the hard part for you ladies. You didn't want sex, so you can't get mad when he chooses to not be there. Because here's the thing, and I'm going to say this as respectfully as possible to you beautiful young women. If a man really wants sex and you don't want to give it to him, he has to go find a way to release that pent-up stress, anger, and aggression. So his best bet is to go home and watch porn or to go home and play video games. I can almost guarantee you he's going home to play video games. He's not going to go home and do porn unless he's really, really fucking horny. So more than likely, unless he's addicted to sex, he's going to go home, hook up that PlayStation 5, hook up that Here gear. Hey, who's on tonight? What we doing? Ain't you supposed to be your girlfriend? Well, she didn't want to have sex. I wanted to have sex, so I'm going to play games. You know? So they're going to be on games. Now, you'll be calling them and calling them. This thing right here be on silent. He playing the fuck out of games. And you'll be pissed. And you'll have to remember, you kind of put yourself in that situation when you told him that you weren't going to have sex. He was being respectful to you, so he decided that he's going to go home, hook up the PlayStation, and play games all day and night. Now, being that he didn't answer your phone, it wasn't because he was ignoring you. It was because he was so deep into that game, he never saw the phone ring. All right? And you got to understand, you did tell him that y'all won't have sex. Now, let's put the situation better. He don't go home. He next with flick and chill with you. Y'all watch 2 movies. It is now 10 p.m. He going home. You still don't want to have sex. But y'all don't watch 2 movies, y'all ate dinner, you had popcorn, and now he wants to go home and play video games because he's not getting sex. Since he knows he's not getting sex, he's not going to pressure you into sex because y'all are in a loving and committed relationship, but y'all just don't live together. So what he's going to do is he's going to jump in his ride, he's going to roll the fuck home. He'll spend 2 hours with you with no sex. Y'all ate, y'all watched movies, y'all held hands, y'all talked about life, and now he's going to jump in the house and go play video games. And you're going to be a little bit mad. But why did you leave? Yeah, baby, I wanted sex. You didn't want sex. I love you enough to respect you enough to say, okay, she don't want to have sex. I'm not going to go cheat. I'm going home and play video games with my bros. Really quite simple. Going to hook up the headset as soon as on my way out the door. And look, dude, I just finished with my girlfriend. We just finished watching 2 movies. We didn't have sex or anything. So I'm coming home. I'm hooking up the PlayStation. Who's on for Call of Duty? Who's on for D&D? Who's on for whatever the fuck your video game choice is? You know, he's going to do that. And the girl's going to be like, well, you ignored me. It's like, no, I didn't. You said no sex. I did exactly what you said. I did not force you into sex. I did not coerce you into sex. And I chose to respect your body and your choice. And I went home and played video games. Now, I could have went home and just jerked the fuck off. Probably do that after the game. You know? But you gotta understand, a man needs sex. After our first encounter with vagina, it's like, yo, this is awesome. I need more. You know, like food, like water. That's how bad we need vagina. Now, women, y'all might not need dick the way we need vagina. Y'all might not need that shit. Plus, y'all got toys. We don't. To my knowledge. You know, the only toys we got are right here in devices called the computer. Sit your laptop on your chest and do your best. Anyway, that being said, we have to teach our children from the age of 8, sometimes to 28, to respect the woman's right to say no, to respect her right to say stop, to respect her right to consent, and to not consent. Now, I can't tell women the same thing because I don't think women are as fucked up as we are as men. But so that I can end this within the 30-minute time frame, because we are approximately 25 minutes in, this goes for women. If you tell your boyfriend no sex and he agrees and he goes home, you can't get angry because he really came there for sex and you didn't want to have it. So if he loves you and he's not going to have sex with you, you need to love him and not be mad at him when he's at home playing video games. You're already going to know he's going to play video games because he's going to tell you, especially if you guys are in a committed relationship. Now, if y'all just friends with benefits, well, that's your loss for the night. Now, women also, if you don't want to have sex, you got to hold your guns. You know, you got to also respect the fact that you told him no sex. So that means if you guys are holding hands, you cannot sit with your legs across his legs, because the average man, he's going to get horny. It's like, well, especially if you're like wearing a sundress or some shit, or something like sexy. If you're in a nightgown or see-through underwear and stuff, and you think that man's not going to get horny, you're living in a fantasy world. Because anything that we generally see women in, especially women that we have desire for, we're going to be turned on. But if you said no sex, and I show up to your house and you're in a nightgown and it's like clearly see-through, you know, it's like translucent, I can see all boobage and all of snatch, but you told me no sex, I'm going to respect that no sex, but I'm also going to ask you to put something else on. It's like, look, you said no sex, but you need to change your clothes. Put a t-shirt on to cover all that up, because I'm trying not to be horny and I'm trying to respect you. So you can't have it both ways. You can't tell me no sex and then walk around with everything showing. Now, I know, I just pissed off some women with that. Yes, I can. No, you really can't, because I can respect you with no sex. But it would be right damn disrespectful for you to be walking around with all your goods out, flaunting and teasing me, but telling me no sex. Now, I got to accept the fact you said no sex. But I don't have to stay there. Alright? Because I'm not going to stay there. If I'm with you and we're seriously dating and you said no sex, alright, cool, no sex, no problem. Now respect me and put some fucking clothes on. Because you're not going to give me what I see in front of me. You're only going to entice me and anger me because you said no sex and I'm not a rapist. So I'm going to go home. Because if you're not going to put clothes on, I'm going to tell you right there, look, if you're not going to get like more appropriate clothes on and you just want to walk around butt-ass naked advertising but not letting me sample the menu, then I need to go home. I need to go home not for you but for me, because I know who I am. And if you walking around with boobs dangling in the wind and snatched, nicely shaved and all kinds of shit right there, and you think that I'm not going to be horny but you told me no sex, no, I'm going the fuck home. I'm straight going the fuck home. I am not staying for that. You're going to have to put some shorts on, and you're going to have to put an appropriate shirt on. Now, you can have a shirt that, like, you know, covers these, and your belly and everything can be showing, but you're going to have shorts on to cover your underwear, because you're disrespecting me by telling me we're not having sex, but you think that you can walk around wearing all that sexy shit, which literally you can because it's your place. But at the same time, you can't get mad at me for being mad and knowing how much I really want sex, and then you say no. Well, I'm going home. I'm going home to save myself a problem. And when I go home, I'm going to call all my boys, and we're going to play video games. We'll live stream the shit out of that shit. And you'll know my streaming service, so you can watch me stream. So you'll know where I'm at. Because I'm going to put the little camera on me and the other camera on the game, and you're going to know where I'm going to be at for the next 4 hours. You know, and when you call her, like, look, I can't answer the phone because I'm streaming on the phone. You know, so it's going to be what's going to be. Now let's get back to the respect thing. If you are a woman and you are telling your boyfriend no sex, and if he loves you, he's going to respect that. But at the same time, you're going to hold your guns and your Netflix and chilling and holding hands and shit. You're going to have to respect the fact that you said no sex. You're also going to have to respect the fact that men are horny as fuck. So you're going to need to put on some respectful clothes. And after I leave, you can throw that clear outfit right the fuck back on and go to sleep. You know? But also, don't wait till I get home and have changed your mind. And then call me and say, look, can you come back over here? I want to have sex now. And I'm going to be mad, but you're going to be madder because I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I'm not coming all the way the fuck back across town. Now, if you threaten to break up with me because I decided I'm not coming all the way the fucking back across town to have sex, after you told me for 2 hours before, which would be 2 hours before I started playing the video game because it is now 3 o'clock in the morning, hell no, I'm not coming back. Fuck no. And I will gladly leave the door unlocked for you to come over. If you want it that bad, you can come over to me. Or we can just talk tomorrow. And Smart Money says you're both going to bank on talking tomorrow. And again, she's going to be pissed because you didn't go all the way back. But at the same time, the only person she can really be pissed off at is herself because she told you from the jump, no sex. Alright? And y'all both need to have that communication done beforehand. Now, in the original video, I went way farther than this. But I'm going to end it right here. We have to teach our little boys and our little girls to respect each other and themselves. Little boys, respect yourself and respect that girl. You wouldn't want your mom to be treated like shit, so don't treat your girlfriend like shit. Because your girlfriend one day may be your baby mama. And if your baby mama happens to have a little girl, you don't want any man to treat your girlfriend the way, or your daughter, the way you didn't treat her mom. You know, in other words, you don't want her to be treated badly, and you don't want the baby mama to be treated badly. So, you know, you got to respect everything. Now, finally, you know, little girls, when you say no, be respectful. Say no. But also, at that same time, be respectful to not tease the man to the point where he's come forcing you to say yes. You know, don't do that. Both of y'all be respectful. Both of y'all learned how to respect the word no. And then all the problems in the universe will probably start to collapse. And then we will have no problems because boys know how to respect girls, girls know how to respect boys and themselves, and everything will be hunky-dory. That being said, I'm Echo Fan Grey Wolf. This is Company Number 2. Be seeing ya.